It began to strike me that feminism actually brought out the worst in women. And that was the thing that began to niggle at me after many years in which I called myself a feminist and I taught at various universities. And it began to strike me that even though all of the measurable goals of the feminist movement had clearly been attained, feminists didn't seem to be any happier about the state of the world. And in fact, it seemed to me that they were as angry or even angrier than they had ever been, very keen on lecturing men on toxic masculinity and everything else, very keen on telling men what they owed to women, which seemed to be everything. And many men were quite willing to try to give to women what they were demanding, but not at all keen in talking about what women owed to men, and certainly not interested in talking about what men had given to women over the centuries, why gender roles had developed as they did in times when the survival of the human race was much more challenging than it is today. And, not at all interested in talking about gratitude or in praising men for the changes in society and in the social order that men had been willing to give to women. So that lack of gratitude, that anger, that accusatory tone, all of those began to really turn me off. And I also finally, I think the sort of assertion of female moral superiority really got to me as well. It was as if no matter what the situation, it was impossible for feminists to admit that women ever did wrong. And also, of course, as I just said, impossible for them to admit that men ever did right. And it began to strike me that feminism actually brought out the worst in women.
It brought out women's true nature. The fact that we have been bred as men to think that women were the more gentle, the more demure, the more kinder of the two genders is bullshit, is absolute BS. You know why men gave so much to women? It's because we love women. Who's the first woman that enters our life? Who's the first one that we see? Our mother, our mothers. That is the woman who nurtured us, who fed us our first meal. So, of course, when a woman is in pain, if a woman wants something, we're naturally prone to give it to her. Women don't get that. Feminism have told you guys that we have suppressed women, but it's been a lie. We led women.